You're listening to Mr. Liverpool himself, Frank Carlyle, exclusively on Mersey Radio.
We were just talking there, Des and I, because there's only Des here in the studio because we're supposed to have Andy Gamble.
No, he's not here.
He's not here. He's had to go to Des. He's had to go to Crewe for some reason, yeah. And he said he might make it back for 9 o'clock.
That'd be good of him.
And John away.
John, where's John this week?
You're not going to believe it. He went to the dentist. He got the anaesthetic, and they said you can't drive. So I said, oh. Okay. Exactly. That's what I said.
Well, was it general anaesthetic? Must have been a general anaesthetic, was it?
Yeah, he had his feet off. Then his teeth pulled out. No, but you know what I mean. And he said, I can't drive. I said, well, how did you get home? He said, I drove. Right. Ian.
John, if you're listening, we're not having that.
Yeah, we're not having it.
Text in with a better excuse, mate.
Yeah. And get that wig ready for yourself. Anyway, Ian Golder.
Yeah.
Now, Ian turned around and said, I can't make it. I'm working late. I won't finish till, such a time. I said, well, he's genuine, I told me John's not genuine, by the way. But I'm just saying he's genuine, because of his work commitments and that. So there's only you and Ian.
Well, do you know what? It's a long road, well travelled, Frank.
It is, isn't it?
We'll get by, don't worry.
Yeah, we'll get by. I tell you what, though, the weather.
It's freezing. Absolutely freezing.
And wasn't it nice today?
It was still cold.
Yeah, it was cold, but I had to go out, and I was having a delivery. Right, the delivery was coming to the door. Anyway, I said, I sat waiting from 7:45, like a dope, sitting there making cups of tea after cups of tea. And I'm waiting at these people because it said, the delivery's coming, it's on its way. And I went, so I wouldn't even get a shower. So I said, I had to get a shower. So I finally got a shower, door open and everything else. And, in case it ding-donged, nothing happened. So I had my shower, everything sorted. So I was sitting there like at the dope again. And then at 1 o'clock I said, I've got to go down the shop. Goes down the shop. I'm in the shop. And I guess what? A little text me. Couldn't they, maybe tomorrow.
No.
And I went, that's unbelievable.
Isn't it unbelievable?
Unbelievable. And as I was walking along, I seen an old neighbour from where I grew up. And he said to me, Frank. And I went, all right. Forgot his name and everything. But you know the face.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, Des? And I went, Comer Street. And he went, no, Jerry Gardens. And I went, St. Joey's. And he went, no, Holy Cross. And I went, I said, I know your face. And he went, it's Terry Kildare. And I went, Terry, how are you, Anyway, we were chatting and that. And I said, I'm just going in here. So anyway, the pair of us walked along with our little bits of shopping. And he brought me in this, because he just lives just a couple of doors away. Yeah. Anyway, I went in, had a nice chat, cup of tea, reminiscing, going over old things. It was lovely. Yeah. And I said to him, come in here, come and have a look at my place. And he went, no, he said, I'm all comfy now. It's all right,
Put big lights on, get settled.
So anyway, you went to games, didn't you?
I went to game on Saturday, yeah.
What did you think?
Obviously a marked improvement. We played the high pressing game. But I do have to say, I was disappointed in Tottenham. Yeah. Especially in the second half. I thought they'd have had a little bit more fight in them than that, Yeah. But it was, I thought Liverpool played okay.
Well, the thing is, I was watching it, and you're not going to believe it, but I missed a goal, right?
Yeah.
Because he had it on, I was sitting there, as you do, swearing at the television. Yeah. Because completely empty, swearing at the telly. And saying, get stuck into it, what are you doing? As you do. And the next just went off. Then bang. Ding. Come on. And it scored the 1-0.
It scored, yeah.
Unbelievable.
It's a great feeling though when you see that, though, great, even though you missed it, it's still
yeah. But you've got to give them the due.
Absolutely, and Mane was brilliant. He was all over the show on Saturday, and so was Wijnaldum as well.
Wijnaldum plays well,
a great shift in,
Yeah.
So all in all, I think he's livened them up a little bit.
But the thing is, Des, we've always said, we were brought up with the philosophy, haven't we? And we can go right back to the Paisley days and things like that, and Shankly's philosophy, and right up to Rafa Benitez's philosophy. Point is, and Kenny Dalglish's point is, and Joe Fagan's. You can go right through, couldn't you? But the point is, there's always with Liverpool, there's always been some sort of like for like, because we as I said, we grew up with the philosophy of saying not one man doesn't make the team.
No.
I remember Kenny Dalglish being injured, and we replaced him, and we just carried on. Yeah. Ian Rush, he was a goal machine, and he was. I'm not. I mean, when he was injured,
I know
so it was a like for like. So they weren't missed that much.
Yeah.
This time now, this team, Mane.
I know.
Big difference.
It's when you think about it's only 2 seasons ago, we had the likes of Gerrard, Suarez, Carragher in the team, and it's hard for any team to miss 3 players like that, But there's no strength in depth at all.
No.
We are going to struggle again if we don't do something about it in the summer,
Well, the thing is, people. It's every season though, and you get some Liverpool supporters saying, "Can't wait for the summer." They say it every season.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. And
how long does it take to build a team? A Liverpool team. It's taken years.
Yeah.
Because every time you get people saying you give the manager time, Conte doesn't need time. Claudio Ranieri won the league, albeit they could be going down this season.
Yeah.
But I don't think they need time, in my opinion.
Yeah, but you need the personnel.
You need the personnel, of course. You need the personnel.
Yeah.
But Herr Klopp has been in the job for 18 months. Nearly 2 seasons. But what I'm saying is, you can't just say, give him time. How much time? It doesn't stand still, the Premiership.
What I can say to that is when Klopp come, we're a mid-table side.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Right?
Yeah.
And now we're challenging for the top 4. So that's an improvement in itself. I like the man.
Okay,
I think he's being a positive.
No one's saying they don't like him. I'm not saying that at all. All as I'm saying is, how long do you give a manager, or players for that matter? Because what Liverpool need, and you know this, they need players up and running. They don't need more potential. There's more potential.
Yeah, I agree with that.
You see what I mean? So they need players up and running. Players that can come in and do a job.
Yeah. So, to answer your question, how long do you give him? Well, he's made improvements. He's improved. He's improved everything.
But he needs his own play.
Yeah. Now, that is the sticking point. Will he be allowed to buy them, or will he be given the money to buy them? That's a different question.
Well, for years, with the owners, since they've taken over, their policy is, and no one can riddle out of this, is to sell to buy. And the only thing that you can sell is your best players. Because Sturridge will go for about 25 to 30.
Yeah, to be honest, I thought he might have gone in January, to be honest.
Well, yeah, a lot of other people did.
Yeah.
So he'll be gone, so there's a big pot. My concern is this. My big concern is this. If Liverpool don't finish in the top 4, My concern is that Coutinho will go, and Firmino will go as well, besides Sturridge. I really believe that. Then you've got the problem of who do you replace them with, because all the top players, all the top quality players want Champions League.
They do, and it's not the draw that it once was.
No.
No.
But
if anyone's going to make it a draw, it's Klopp himself. So it's kind of waiting. Let's wait and see what happens. But I argue with everyone who says Klopp has definitely improved this team. As I say, they were a mid-table team when he took over.
Yeah, but okay.
And he lost 3 excellent players: Gerrard, Carragher, and Suarez.
But Suarez wasn't there anyway.
Well, Suarez wasn't there, no. But I mean,
neither was Carragher.
Wasn't he?
Carragher walked out on Rodgers.
No, that's right. Yeah, but I'm talking about the team.
Oh, the team.
The team, yeah.
If he had Suarez there,
yeah.
If he had Steven Gerrard, and if he had Carragher in defence, you'd see a big difference, because that's the spine.
Of course.
No, I really believe that he would have, like in the summer, would have strengthened that spine. I thought he was a top manager to do that, but unfortunately, as I said, he's been there. He came in the October, remember? So he had that season to look at them, and then really he done nothing for the defence, because that's who's been letting us down.
You're right, but don't you think he knows that?
Yeah, but why didn't he buy in the summer? We
don't know, do we? I'm sure he recognises the fact that he's got to buy a centre half and a goalkeeper.
Yeah, absolutely.
And a striker.
Yeah.
And
a big a holding midfielder.
And, we haven't had a ball-winning midfielder.
No, since Mascherano.
Well, I was going to say Gerrard as well.
No, but Stevie was more of the playmaker, wasn't he?
He was, yeah.
And Mascherano was he won the ball.
Yeah.
He broke everything up.
Yeah.
Before him, this is why I mentioned Rafa, before him, you had Didier Man. Mm-hmm. And when Dizzy was coming to the end, he looked at it, right, and he replaced him with, I think, it's the best older midfield player we've ever had. And that was Javier Mascherano.
Yeah. Well, to be honest, my favourite was Ronnie Whelan.
Well, Ronnie Whelan, you mentioned him.
But that's when it all started playing like that,
Yeah, and
going back that far back, that team only struggled when Ronnie Whelan wasn't in it.
Yeah, you're right.
To be honest with you, even though it was full of superstars.
Yeah.
When Whelan wasn't playing, it struggled, Yeah. And
don't forget he had Barnsley and everything.
I know.
Peter Beardsley.
He's the most underrated player that's played for the club, in my view.
Peter Beardsley.
I know.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to ask you this question. You take the likes of the Beardsley, the Barnsley, the Rushy side. Okay, you know what I'm going to come out with, don't you? And you go up to the 2009-2010 team.
Yeah.
Right?
Uh-huh.
So you're going from the 80s right up to the 90s. Where would you put Mane? Who would you drop for Mane in any of them sides? And yet, people are saying that.
Can I be honest with you?
Go on.
Mane would not get in one of them sides.
He wouldn't. So has Liverpool gone back? If you know what I mean. If he's, he was the saviour, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And we missed him. Liverpool Football Club missed him. His manager missed him when he went. And that's my concern. He should have realised that he could have been away for 7 weeks, which he was away for 6. But he never really replaced him.
No.
Do you know, I was surprised to see go. And I thought he did well during the pre-season. Yeah, he sent him out on loan. Was that Laser Markovic?
Well, do you know what? I was mentioning it to you the other week. Now, he's only on loan at Hull. Can he not be recalled?
I don't know whether they signed these contracts, for the season or 6
maybe
months
a season-long loan. I
don't know.
But because I think Klopp would get the best out of him.
I think so because he was really good. And then you get the other controversial stuff, which people agree, people disagree, was sending Sacco out.
Yeah,
on loan.
See, he's another one that can be recalled.
Yeah, but the thing is, you know, with Sacco, he doesn't stand any messing, does he? I mean,
no,
Klopp,
yeah,
the manager, and he was only having a laugh.
Well, that's good in a way, isn't it?
It is good in a way,
Yeah.
but, you know, that's... So people have said, you know, when we were getting beat, that is, you know, by the likes of Wolves and struggling against Plymouth and getting stuffed by... I keep getting these...
Bournemouth.
Yeah. That was the catalyst for me.
Yeah, it was actually, yeah.
You know, 3-1 up, you know, and you're there in the second half, you're playing, and you're playing well. And then all of a sudden, you're 3-1 up, then 3-2, 3-3, 4-3,
yeah,
the end of the game. And I think that really got to them.
But you know what, Frank? I watched the whole game last week, and it's the first time I've watched Liverpool, and I've thought to myself, you're boring, you're playing boring football. I was bored watching them, gotta be honest. And I've never labelled that against them at all, you know.
No.
Totally different on Saturday.
Okay, now, I'll come back to that. I'm going to ask you another question.
Okay.
Suppose Liverpool got beat. Suppose they got beat. Would you have sat there and said, Liverpool have progressed? Because they would have been sitting 6th or 7th now. Now, don't forget
on Saturday.
Yeah, because going back to November,
Mm-hmm.
what you've got to think of is this. Going back to November, they were top of the league.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden we found ourselves before the Tottenham game 10 points behind Chelsea.
Yeah.
And that is a massive... Yeah, like they never won in January.
No, I know.
They did before Christmas.
Yeah. I mean, every team has a bit of a lull in the season, you know.
I understand that. I really understand that. But it wasn't a blip. To me, it was a mini crisis.
Yeah.
Because they've got to go on from here. And if they don't go on from here, it's the same old. And, you know, so you might be saying, you know, I eat my words here. We haven't progressed.
Well,
you know, 2 finals last year.
Yeah.
All right, we were beaten in 2 of them.
Yeah.
2 finals. This, you know, there's nothing.
It is a good shout. But
so you can't really say about progress.
Not using Leicester as an example.
Forget them. Yeah.
But it's hard to go from a mid-table team to challenging for the top 4.
Yeah.
And even though we're only there or thereabouts now, we should be really challenging for the championship this year.
I totally agree.
You
because even Klopp said it. He said, you know, what I'm going to say, and this is at the beginning of the season, he said, what I'm going to say is, with not being in Europe, which is a sad thing for the supporters, because, you know, Liverpool's built on Europe, it'll give us now the opportunity to go all out for the league. We could do well in the league.
Yeah.
And, you know, before the game on Saturday, people were saying, well, hang on a minute, you know, we're not doing so well in the league because we were lying in 5th place.
But you know what? It's happened to a few. It's happened to Arsenal this season. It's happened to City.
Yeah, but
it's happened to United. You know.
No, well, United have got a new
manager,
and so has City. But, you know, Manchester City had heard.
Well, they are now.
Yeah, they are now.
But they weren't.
Yeah, I understand that.
And so it's to and fro, apart from Chelsea, who were streets.
And Tottenham. And Arsenal.
Yeah, but we're only a point separating all of us.
Yes, all of us, yeah.
So my point is, I do think
that was a
we've
pun
improved.
Now, wasn't it? My point is, my point is, yeah.
So I stand by what I said. We have improved, but it's like anything. You're never going to improve to satisfy some supporters.
No, but you've got to have the personnel.
You do have to have the personnel.
Because I look at that bench. Our Francine, my daughter, she came out with a whopper. She did, and I'm going back a while. And she said, "What it is, Dad? You look at Tottenham's, Chelsea's, Arsenal's, Man City's, Man United's benches to ours.
No, but she makes a great point, you know.
That was it, you know, and I said, yeah, you're right. Yeah. Because our bench is terrible.
It is.
Our bench is absolutely... You know, to rely on a 17-year-old kid, the likes of that little Woodburn and Alexander-Arnold, good player as the lad is, but he's nowhere near ready for Premiership football. No way. You know, to go into that side. And the likes of young Woodburn, remember when Michael Owen first burst on the scene?
Yeah.
And Wayne Rooney first burst on the scene. Same age. You know, they were a total different...
Well, they come in the team and hit the ground running, didn't they?
Oh,
both
absolutely.
Of them, you
know, so he's not as good as them, and that's in my opinion.
Well, he's not, no, but you know, time will tell on that. But let me ask you a question now.
Go on.
If you're the owners of the club and you're sitting there looking at the bench, what are your thoughts?
Well, okay, now if I was an owner, and say like I was looking at Scunthorpe, not Liverpool, and I'm looking and I'm going, and I'm looking at other like benches in their division, right? I say, well, they're strong. I'd make sure, if I had the money, that I'd strengthen not just the team but also the bench.
Okay, why?
Why? Because that's what you need. As I mentioned before, you get the likes from Bill Shankly, Paisley, Joe Fagan, Kenny Dalglish, right up to and Ulier for some certain reason.
Yeah, Ulier.
And right up to Rafa. They always had a like for like. They tried to have like for likes. So anyone who was injured or anyone who had lost a form or anything like that, they were replaced immediately.
Yeah.
Replaced immediately. If they were injured, bang, right. So it was a like for like. No. This time, these owners, you asked me a question.
Yeah.
Now the owners, they're baseball fans. Mm-hmm. The baseball fans. They don't look at football the way you and I look at it, or any supporters up and down the country, no matter what team you support.
Yeah.
They don't look at it like that. So it's like us looking at baseball.
That's my point. It's like they're looking at the bet and they don't care.
No, they don't care.
They don't care. You know.
Yeah.
While the shared sales are still going. We were always talking about this the other week, you know, Frank. My season tickets are in the main stand, right? And when it got knocked down for the new one to be built, I got an email off the club giving me the opportunity to purchase my old seat. I thought, I've never been insulted as a fan in all my life, and it was something like £140. And I did. I emailed them back. I said, I've spent grands and grands and grands, remortgaged my house twice in the last 30 years just to keep them tickets. Yeah. And you're asking me to buy it. Yeah. So I put in my email, why don't you just fill your containers up and send them to the Far East and sell them, because that's what you really want to do.
Yeah.
And it sickened me, to be honest.
It sickens everybody. It sickens everybody. And the only people who were made up were the people like who live abroad when they apply to buy a seat. And that's the sad thing about it. I remember, do you ever remember when the cavern was knocked down?
Yeah.
And people were saying, they had bricks, and I know people now who've got bricks from the cavern. Do you ever remember when the cop was being knocked down? I know where people who've got little bits of stanchion.
Yeah, that's right.
They've also got bricks, you know, even a bits of step.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's right.
But where it wasn't sold.
No. That's right.
It wasn't sold. You know, take them.
And I thought that was disgusting.
Well, it's the mentality of the owners.
But it showed the style of the owners.
Yes.
You know, it showed you the style of the owners. And it's only money that they're interested in, mate.
I totally 110% agree with you. Do you ever remember when he's gone now, Mr. A&A, right?
Yeah.
Our chief executive. And it was only last season when they say they were putting the prices up, and he called the fans customers.
Yeah.
And that hurt me.
Absolutely.
It's it,
Absolutely.
mate. I'm not a fan, I'm a customer.
Well,
it's
I
like going into a
game.
supermarket, you know. I'm a customer in a supermarket, and that's all that I am in there. But I'm not a customer going to that football ground to watch a game that I've been watching, you know, for like 50 odd years.
Well, we all walked out with 10 minutes to go in that game.
Yeah.
And that sent a message.
It sent a big message.
You know.
It sent a big message, but that's the unfortunate thing. As you said about the different mentality and the psyche of these like foreign owners. Mm-hmm. I'm not talking about Middle Eastern owners. I'm not talking about Russians. I'm talking about a country that just looks at football, baseball, as their national sport. Or not just baseball, but also their football, you know, like the Super Bowl. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's their national sport. They've been brought up with it.
Yeah.
Football, it's like me and you going over to somewhere and watching baseball. And we're going to be looking at, well, who's here? Is he any good? You know, and you could have say like we went to the New York Yankees or whatever, and we said to this American, is he any good? You know, he can half it that, but he's awful then.
Well, that proves it's just a business transaction. There's no passion there at all.
No.
You know,
nothing.
Absolutely
nothing.
No passion.
Because we can't sell a good player from a bad player, and a potential player. But because they go on a committee now, and this is how FSG worked. They said, okay, we know nothing about football. Can we have a plan to say about, how many passes some certain player, and we go after them if they got potential to play for Liverpool Football Club, and it won't cost that much. And that's how we've been getting players.
Yeah.
And you don't work like that. You get players up and running.
Do you know what? If David Moores was still at the helm, I don't think it'd be like this.
Of course it wouldn't.
Because he had a bit of passion about him, you know.
Of course he did. And I'll tell you who else did. Sheikh Makatoon, who was the potential buyer at the time. Because his two nephews were big Liverpool fans and they still go to the game.
Yeah.
You think, well, why didn't we sell to them? What happened there? Because they knew about football. They knew about football.
Yeah.
And he had more money than sand.
But they should be going the game, these owners, wanting the team to
but
win.
They don't.
They go in the game saying, I wonder how many shirts we've sold today.
Yeah.
And it's wrong, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's wrong for a club like Liverpool, you know. And it first came about years and years ago when Newcastle, I think they were the first club in the Premier League to make their ground all season ticket.
Yeah.
So if you didn't buy a season ticket, you couldn't go to the match.
Yeah.
And that was the start of it. It's just taking the game away from the working man.
Yeah.
You know, and it doesn't sit well with me.
But do you ever remember when everyone said, what's he going on about, making jokes of it? Roy Keane, when he said, all as I see is people with the prawn sandwich brigade, he called them. And that was going back years ago. And people just scoffed at him. But that man was so spot on.
Yeah.
So spot on, because you can go and... I seen, I forget what game it was, and there was empty seats at Liverpool because the corporates didn't show up. So there was empty seats. When was the last time you've seen empty seats at Anfield?
I know. But you know what? I remember it was 78, the European Cup final against Bruges at Wembley. And the only ticket I could get available was the most expensive one on offer. From my season ticket, and it was right opposite the Royal Box, Frank. Yeah. So when I gets into my seat, and when it started filling up around me, there was no fans.
No.
Everyone had a suit on.
Mm.
I was the only fan there in this like little block, you know.
Yeah.
And I thought this is not right.
No.
It's just not right, you know.
No.
And it's the same when the FA Cup final comes around. The tickets allocation for the fans, and how and the percentage going to corporate. It's really annoying.
I'm going to let you into something here now, right? If we would have got to the EFL final, I was going into the Bobby Moore stand.
Well, do you know what, Frank? I'd have said enjoy yourself, Because how many times have you sat on a cop?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, I thought,
but see, you see that as a treat.
And bang.
But these guys are doing that every week.
Yeah.
It doesn't...
Yeah, I know. You know, I always remember going to the... what final was it? It wasn't a Merseyside one of the finals. I forget what one it was. I think we played when we beat Man United in the you know, in the Milk Cup. Was it the Milk Cup then, or the League Cup? One of them. You know, it was, I don't know, you know, the League or the Milk Cup as it was known then, because it's changed names, hasn't it? And I always remember talking to these two fellas, and they said no, they were from Scotland, didn't support either Manchester United or Liverpool, but they were there because they were invited down. You see what I mean? So all the way from Scotland. So how many people from all over the country? Don't forget, you know, when the old Wembley held at 100,000, there was only 30,000 tickets allocated. No, 30,000 between the two, and 15,000 each.
Yeah, that's my point.
So where was the other 70,000?
Well, do you know where they were?
Yeah, and the Spivs. Remember the Spivs?
Yeah.
Absolutely horrendous. Yeah. Horrendous it was.
I've got no time for tickets out at all.
Do you know what? It was funny, and I'll tell you what game it was. Never forget it. It was the 74 final, Newcastle. And we were walking up, and this fellow went like that. Oh, he's asking mad prices. I think he was asking like 50 quid then, 74 for a ticket. And the next, all these Liverpool supporters as well. And the fella went up in the air. Yeah. And the tickets went everywhere. And he was screaming for the police, and everyone was just grabbing them. Yeah. And the police came, and they were laughing. Yeah. You know, give them the due. You know, they went, well, tough. Mm. You know what I mean? So, what we're going to do now, we're going to go to a record. And do you know what it's got? Do you know what it is? What? The Big O. You got it.
You got it.
You're listening to Mersey Radio. Mersey Radio. Broadcasting to Merseyside and the world.
Imagine if you could escape right now to somewhere sunny, relaxed and fun-filled. Go on, you know you deserve it. Come to Villanova Park, your first-class holiday park just outside of Barcelona. Villanova Park offers it all with a heated indoor pool, terrace bar, gym and much, much more. Why not take advantage of our winter sun offers and enjoy a self-catering 2-bedroom chalet for 4 from as little as £96 for 3 nights. Escape to the sun this winter. Call our local representatives for special deals on 075 44 393 472. Villanova Park. You know you want to.
Have you got a special occasion coming up? Need the wow factor? Then look no further than Stevie Mac's Party Shop, the one-stop shop for all your party needs. DJs, balloons, banners, mascot hire, candy floss, popcorn and much, much more. Call 0151 525 0872 or visit our website steviemacs.co.uk.
Is your garden looking tired, untidy, need some help to spruce it up? Why not call AJ Walton Garden Services? Lawns, hedges, jet washing and much, much more. All areas covered. With a special offer of £10 every 2 weeks or £15 every 4 weeks. Call John now on 07474 727 951.
Does your company need to raise its profile? Then why not advertise on Mersey Radio with packages starting from as little as £30 per month. For more details, you can call us on 0151 324 1616 or 0151 324 0600, or you can email advertise@merseyradio.co.uk. The best in 60s and 70s music, plus a little bit of history. Tune into Frank Carlyle every Monday at 8 p.m. here, only on Mersey Radio.
Well, that was good, wasn't it? You know, just think about this, you know, like, you got it. So, what did you get up to on the weekend or at the weekend?
Hasn't been a good fortnight.
Because you went to match, didn't you?
I went to match, but last week, I set the alarm off at Aldi. You know.
You do.
So, and then a security card comes on. I said, "I'm going to have to run. Just walk. Here's me receipt, you know." Anyway, they do the stuff that fast in there that they missed. They didn't scan one of the items, you know, but it was on the receipt and that. Anyway, so that was that way. And it was like, you know, when you go into a strange pub and all the regulars, it all goes quiet and all the regulars look at you. That's what I felt like at Aldi, you know. Everyone's looking at you.
Just looking at you.
Them there, look. And then Saturday night, me and Mark went in, Mark Cohen, after the match we went into town. I went to this place called Crusts in Bowl Street. And anyway, I dropped something on the floor. When I come back up, I knocked all the glasses in the ale all on the floor in the slate, and the restaurant was chocker, you know. And everyone went quiet. So I had to stand up and said, "Yes, it was me. I'm sorry that I disturbed your meal. Carry on. Nothing to see here." And you always put the heads down and started eating again. But you feel lost, don't you? You know?
Yeah, you feel, you know, like it's just a little bit of embarrassment, isn't it?
Yeah,
you know,
it
when
is,
everything clinking and everything else, you know,
not again.
You swallow. You need swallowing up.
So I wish it had been with you, because you went to see with your old Swan, weren't you?
Yeah, I went up to the Conservative Club, which you know very well. Went up there, and I went to see a band, funnily enough. It was the band is actually called the Original Replica.
Original Replica.
Yeah,
what
isn't
a great name.
It is a great name, isn't it? Because the Original Replica, what they do, they're only young, you know.
Yeah.
And the dress, do you know, like the way you can get images of the Beatles, you know, with black ties, white shirts, and the waistcoat, the black waistcoat.
Yeah.
They were dressed like those. And they've got a girl in the band as well. Brilliant. They were absolutely brilliant.
What type of stuff do you do for them?
Well, they do like from the Beatles, right? They do Buddy Holly.
Right, okay.
They do Buddy Holly. You know, all that type of...
So it's like 60s.
Yeah, like 60s. They did the Searchers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Andy's not here, so we can say they did the Searchers.
Yeah.
And honestly, they were brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
And you're only young as well, really?
They're only young, except the drummer. The drummer's like... The drummer is, you know, a traditional, like, being in bands and everything else, so he's been around, knows the score.
Yeah.
But they were brilliant, absolutely brilliant. The songs, but you know, the beauty of it is, they has everybody up dance.
Yeah. Well, that's all you want, isn't it?
And that's all you want. So once that happens, you know, it's like myself, you know, when I give a song.
I know, well, when you do your Elvis and that.
Oh, yeah, me big O, yeah, you know.
Your big O.
But, you know, well, we leave that aside. Because we've got Mo who's listening in.
Hiya, Mo.
Right, so she said... she thought Andy was coming on because she's a big fan of Searching.
Oh, right, of Andy, yeah.
And she said, "Frank, do you think you and Andy could sing Needles and Pins?" No. Is it Needles and Pins or is it Needles and Pins?
It's Needle and Pins, but when you sing it, it's Needles and Pins.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you know who wrote it?
You've told me this before.
It's, you know,
no, I can't think.
You can't think of it.
No.
Well, it was Sonny Bono.
Yeah, that's right.
Sonny Bono.
Yeah.
He wrote it. Sonny Bono was the Sonny and Cher, weren't he? I've got you, babe.
No, well, it is me saying you too when you said Bono.
Yeah, it's funny that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sicilian, actually. Did you know that?
Is it?
Sonny Bono, yeah. Anyway, this girl who's our next guest, her name is Judy McLean.
Judy McLean,
and
that
she
sounds
runs,
like a film star's
name. Doesn't it? Yeah, you'd think she just won a BAFTA, wouldn't you? You know. And now the BAFTA, and the winner is Judy McLean.
Yes.
You know, oh, Judy, we love you, Judy. Anyway, Judy runs a thing called LoveHistory.
Yeah.
And she does all these lovely little things, you know. But, having said that, we're going over because she can tell us more about it, especially it's in St George's Hall as well, that she runs. And is she there? Big nods and a big thumbs up. It's good evening, Judy.
Hello.
Hiya, Judy.
That's Des, by the way. He's just said hello.
Hello, Des.
Hello,
Is he the one that
Judy.
says I've got a film star name?
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
Hello.
That's all right.
I like that.
It didn't offend you, did I?
No, did you hear the hello, Des? You know, because you said she had a film
No, he's
star.
definitely got a film star named Judy.
Well, I think
Thank
she's
you.
got a going back to the Victorian era. You know, like a murderer's name. You know, like a
murderer's
yeah,
name?
you know, like a Black Widow's sort of name. And, you know, Judy McLean, you know, the Black Widow, who was doing all her husbands every time she got married. Anyway, I'm only kidding, Judy. Anyway, Judy, what's going on now with Love History? You know, there's loads of things going on, isn't there?
Yeah, we've got the gang show starting next Monday.
Is that
That's the ball, obviously.
is that the like the gangs of Liverpool?
It's Victorian times though.
Yeah. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. You know, going back to the likes of the Peanut Gang and the High Rip Gang and those people.
Yeah, we kind of go from. This is the second one we've done in the series, but we kind of go from the corner men right up through to the high rip on this one.
Yeah, coming into the 20th, latter part of the 19th, going into the 20th.
Yeah.
Most notorious gang, the High Rip Gang.
The High Rip. They used to knock around at Barn Street, didn't they?
Yeah, the Scotland Road, Scotland Road area they came from, and the Peanut Gang. Have you ever heard of those? The Peanut Gang.
I haven't heard of the Peanut Gang, you know. I haven't. Were they Scotland Road as well?
No. They were the Park Road gang.
Were they?
Yeah,
oh no.
And they had it off between them. You know, who was the toughest, and the Peanut Gang.
Who won?
Well, it was the High Rip Gang, the Scotland Road lads, and it was. See, don't forget, these people were notorious. They weren't nice people at all. You know, so have you ever heard of a judge by the name of Judge Day? Day. No, Judge
we've
Day.
actually had him in one of the shows.
Oh,
we've actually done a story on him.
Did you do the story about his pocket watch and he hung it over the arm of a lamp on Scotland Road?
No, we didn't do one on Scotland Road. We done the story where he was a flogging judge, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was also an hanging judge because he actually hanged a couple of members.
Yeah.
Now the thing is, with what he did, he got this pocket watch out, went to Scotland Road, and remember the old gas lamps, and he got the arms out, and he put it over. He said, if this watch is gone in 24 hours, he said, I'm going to arrest. I'll have every gang member of the High Rip Gang arrested. And it was still there 24 hours later. Yep.
Oh, was it? Was it still there?
The thing is, they were terrified. Because as you said quite rightly, Judy, he was a flogging judge. You know, you steal and you got the birch. And you got the birch on your bum as well. Anyway.
I know.
It was the High Rip Gang who actually minded it in case someone nicked us so they don't get nicked and flogged. So they
did they?
Yeah.
Smart gang members.
Well, this is it, you see. Yeah. So go ahead. So what does this entail? I think Des wants to ask a question.
How did it all start, Judy? Love History.
How did the Love History start?
Yeah.
We just used to do site-specific theatrical tours, you know, in different parts, and it just grew actually from there. I had a conversation with Alan Smith a few years ago to launch a space, and then we've just evolved, really.
So you go to different venues doing this, do you?
Well, we used to, and we used to do things outside. We've done a lot in Croxteth Hall when we first started, and then we've just moved. Well, for the last 3 years, we've been in St George's, which is it's brilliant, isn't it? We do all kinds of things in St George's, in the Great Hall as well, and the concert room. But these are our favourite. These are our best things that we do.
Yeah. Do you know where I wanted to do a play, Judy? And I think it'd be great. In St Luke's, you know, the bombed out church.
Oh God, yeah. We've actually done something there on the Irish famine. Yeah. We're doing it again actually in March in St George's.
When you done St Luke's, what was it like?
It was brilliant, you know. It was lovely. It was part of the Irish Festival a few years ago.
Yeah. We were considering doing Wildflowers there. I was in Franny Collins' play Wildflowers, and we were looking into maybe doing on there. But I think it's a brilliant venue for something like that. Oh,
it is. It's lovely, and it's dead surreal, you know, when you're watching something in there, because obviously it's got all the plants and everything overgrown. It's lovely.
Well, that's. I mean, I think if you get the lighting right, it's a spectacular venue, you know.
So you don't forget that there's a monument there as well for the Irish, that the president of the Republic at the time was Mary Robinson. And she, I was there. I was invited along. She unveiled this, plaque, shall we call it. And I was there. I don't know why they did it in, I'm being honest, I don't know why they did it up there in the bombed out church. Maybe as to symbolise, ruination.
Yeah.
I don't know. Because I would have thought that he would have had it down by the pierhead, in all honesty, or around
the Irish,
the Irish Quarter, which is like around the Scotland Road area.
Yeah, it would have been nice in St Anthony's around there, wouldn't it?
Of course it would have been, Judy. Of course it would have been.
I've seen her house, by the way,
Mary Robinson's.
But she lives right on Phoenix Park.
Oh right, yeah.
You know, and there's always a light. Burns in the house day and night. Yeah,
so it's like the internal flame, isn't
kind of,
Well, I've been the Irish Famine Museum.
Have you?
Unbelievable. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I do the Irish questions, don't I? I give a lecture on it. Anyway, so that's great, that, to be doing it. And I think people should realise, because as your title says, love history, Judy. Getting the facts about, through a play, through a performance of what actually happened.
I know, and it's quite harsh as well, because we contextualise, it's about how people have to live and poverty and
I think it's great.
All kinds of things, really. So it is good. They are good shows. The promenades as well, so you get to see all different areas in the building.
Yeah, well, I did a play. I did a promenade, about the First World War a couple of years ago there.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I did actually meet you in the hall around.
I know you did.
Time.
I know, and I've still got your lipstick marks all over me face. I won't wash me face,
Oh God! I'm renowned for that.
Anyway, what we've got, what I had there was the First World War one, and I performed myself as well. I recited the poetry, but having said that, I think what you're doing, just like myself, bringing local characters into the fore and showing the people of Liverpool, what these people were up to, what these people, and especially like the gangs of what you're bringing in. It wasn't all plain sailing or anything like that in Liverpool. Everyone was lovey-dovey and working hard and living in poverty. These people were horrible. Horrible people.
I know. I know. The stories that you hear, it is. It's quite harsh.
Judy, I don't know the contents of your scripts and that, but and obviously the subject matter of gangs and stuff like that. But do you ever perform any of these plays in schools?
Do you know what? That's actually how we originally started off, going around schools.
Yeah.
And we did do a lot, but then the funding got cut in schools, so there was less and less, but we get a lot of teachers coming on and asking us to go into the schools and, to adapt some of the stories for younger ages.
Yeah, because I think the kids that get onto this kind of stuff. And me and Frank were talking. Frank does his walks around Liverpool. How many Scousers don't even know anything about Liverpool, you know.
It's surprising, you know, because I was in a cab going down. I was bringing these lawyers out the other Sunday, as you know, Jez, and I was bringing them out, and when I got there, I was just talking to the taxi driver, young fella, Scouser, and he said, what is it? I said, well, funny enough, I said, I'm going in there, St George's Hall. He said, I've never been in there. I said, why? And he said, well, I just haven't. You know, this is driving down when I said, you know, I'm going to St George's Hall. And I said, well, have you been in the library? He said, what library? I said, the one in William Brown's. I said, have you been in the Walker Gallery? Never been in any of them buildings. I said, well, what about the Port of Liverpool building? You know, what is that? And he said, where's that? I said, the Port of Liverpool building. And here's what he said. Now, I've always advocated, I don't know whether you agree with me here, Judy, but, you know, as your title says, Love History. Now, that fella only known, and I disagree with this, and I went mad when I first came out, the terminology. And he said, well, the Port of Liverpool. And I said, well, I said, the Three Graces. I hate saying it. And he went, yeah, well, why didn't you say the Three Graces? That's what they are, aren't they, the Three Graces? I said, no, I said, they've got their own identity, like the Live at the Cunards and the Port of Liverpool building. Yeah. So they lose their identity by giving them, a collective name as one.
Yeah, I don't know what you mean. It's like, it's more of a touristy thing, isn't it? Like a little...
Yes,
it is. More commercial, isn't it?
It is, and, you know, for a Scouser themselves to lose, or to not know what building is a building. Yeah, there's another one for you. I was in I gave a talk at the town hall, so I came out again for lawyers, and anyway, I called a cab. The cab, and I was waiting ages for the cab, and they said, it's there for you. Do you know where he went? The municipal building. The municipal building in Dale Street, yeah. And this is, you know, and he was a Scouser. It wasn't that it was a foreigner or, you know, driving the cab. It was a Scouser. So you've always bleated on about it, haven't you, about, you know, going into schools, just like your good self there, Judy, when, you know, going into schools. And I've given a few talks in schools and that, you know, about local characters, especially Victoria Cross holders.
I know, and they love it, don't they, the kids? The kids love it. I mean, we have some of what we do at the hall's a bit dark for them, but it can easily be adapted.
Yeah. But I think they learn better. Sorry, Fran.
No, I was just going to say... Yeah, of course they do, yes. I was just going to say, you've got... Your actors, are they your troupe, if you know what I mean?
Are they all what, sorry?
Are they your troupe? Are they your, you know, little company?
Yeah, well, I mean, we have a really strong team who are regular, you know, who always work with us, but they are freelance as well, so they do bits of work elsewhere, but we seem to have a nice, strong, regular team that we've built up over the years.
That's brilliant, that, because I'm going to get hold of you. Are you free tomorrow, by the way, you know, to have a chat with me?
Yeah, do you mean to phone me?
Yeah.
Or me? Yeah.
Okay, because I really need to phone you about something, if that's okay. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine, of course.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
So what I'll do, I'll phone you in the afternoon PM. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay,
yeah.
All right. So anyway, you'll have to tell us now, Judy, when is it on, the gangs? I don't know it's next week, because you've said, but... I get these messages off the wonderful producer named Jason Pennington. And how much is it? And where can you get the tickets and the website? So can you give us that information, please?
Yeah, it starts Monday. The tickets are £15 and they're on Ticket Quarter. So it's www.ticketquarter.co.uk. And our website is lovehistory.co.uk.
Well, that's
for anyone who wants a little look.
That's the website.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it's £15. You can get it on www. Jason's just written down. and the website and everything else is just LoveHistory.com. That's it. Well, he's got it all down. That's going on our website. It's going to be great. Would you like? How long is it on for?
It finishes on the 25th, so the 25th is the last night, and there's 4 shows each night.
Wow.
Okay, how would you like us to go down and we do a review about it?
Yeah, you're welcome to come down, definitely.
And we'll do a review on next week's show.
Okay, all right.
Is that fair enough?
No pressure then.
No pressure. No pressure, eh? It's terrible, isn't it? You know, when a show goes down here, we'll give us a review. And then everyone's listening in to see But, you know, we have given reviews on plays in the past, and, you know, I'm not saying
you're welcome. There's a few. We have a few on, so you're welcome to come down.
All right,
definitely.
so, well, I really need to get hold of you tomorrow, by the way. I really do.
Okay.
And I'll ring you. Have you got it? Yeah, he's got it there. He's got everything for me, Jason. He's Boy Wonder. He's known as Boy Wonder. Jason Boy Wonder or Boy Genius Pennington. So he's got all the details for me to get hold of you sometime tomorrow. Is that okay?
Okay. Yeah, brilliant.
Excellent stuff. Judy, it's been wonderful. It's been absolutely wonderful. And obviously you'll come on again and talk about other things that you're going to do in the summer. Is that okay?
Yeah, definitely. Okay.
That's wonderful, Judy.
All right.
And I'll speak to you tomorrow personally, okay?
All right. So, speak to you tomorrow. Thank you.
No, thank you.
Judy.
All right, ta-da.
Bye. Well, that was the lovely Judy.
Judy McLean.
Judy McLean, the one with the Hollywood name.
The one with the Hollywood name. Sounds interesting, that, though. Frank.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Shall we go in there? Shall we go down and review it?
Yeah, we'll do that, eh?
Yeah, we'll do that one evening. How's that?
Yeah, we'll do that.
Great. So we'll get down there and do that little review for next week. Or the week after. Yeah. That'll be next week, won't it? It'll have to be next week. Anyway, what we've got now, we've got a couple of songs, right? Before this is where we go to our guest. Well, we've got 3 songs. Wow. And these ones, I used to watch these. Fellas. And it's mashed potato, yeah. That's terrible, that. Wasn't that why did I do And it's by the Undertakers.
Yeah.
The Undertakers, right?
Is this Jeff Nugent's one?
Yeah. Jeff Nugent. Jeff. So sad about him. And Bad Penny Blues by Humphrey Lillerton. Now, do you know Humphrey Lillerton was a great jazz fella, right? He played, I think he played the sax. Not quite so sure, but I know he played something, but he was a great, he came from a very privileged background.
Did he? Yeah?
He was very posh, yes. Was Humphrey. Yeah. And we'll be talking about...
Like Johnny.
Like Johnny, but posh, yeah. Did you hear about, it's funny this, his mother, I don't know whether we mentioned it last week, and his mother said, she said, you sound common, John. You know, on the radio.
His mum did?
His mum, yeah. And he went, you should hear the other 3. That's why he's not here tonight.
John sounds common. There's nothing down for us.
Nothing's down for us at all, no. Anyway, and the Cavern Stomp by the Big 3. The Big 3. And, so we'll see it after this. And we've got our wonderful guest, Derek Shelmerdine. And he's the author of Rock N Roll Unravelled. So we'll be talking about the Cavern, and don't forget that it's coming up to its 60th birthday. Yeah. And it's going to be brilliant. And he's going to sign it at the Right Blends, this particular book, Rock N Roll Unravelled, at the Right Blend this Friday. Friday he'll be signing it. Anyway, we'll be talking more about that after these wonderful songs.
Listen to Mersey Radio wherever you are, on air, online, and on your phone. www.merseyradio.co.uk. Whatever you're up to this Sunday, whether it's the DIY, the housework, or you're cooking up a storm in the kitchen, tune into the Sunday Show with Gary Reddin, 2 till 4 every Sunday for the soundtrack to your Sunday, here on Mersey Radio. For the best signed and unsigned artists, tune in Tuesdays at 8 p.m. for WWK Signed and Unsigned with Billy Kelly.
Getting out of bed, rubbing your eyes in the morning, going downstairs and having a cup of coffee. Is that how you start your day? No. What you need to do is open your eyes, lean over, switch your radio on, and listen to The Big Breakfast, Monday to Friday from 7 a.m. Getting you out of bed in a different way. Jason Scott.
The Big Breakfast.
Right here on Mersey Radio.
The best in 60s and 70s music, plus a little bit of history. Tune into Frank Carlyle every Monday at 8 p.m. here, only on Mersey Radio.
Wasn't that brilliant? Mashed potato, yeah. I love that. I haven't heard that for years.
I know your little feet were going.
Oh, my little feet went, yeah. But what do you think about Penny Blues? No, you know, we're being honest here, Jason, aren't we? You know, we don't like jazz. But the likes of that jazz was absolutely...
I don't mind it.
No, well, all right. I'm just saying...
I thought you meant like a collective we did.
No, I said Jason and I never said you.
Okay, well, I like you.
Well, all right.
Okay,
but, God, blimey, can I finish this? Can I finish this off, please? Anyway... That Bad Penny Blues, you know, the piano. Oh, fantastic. You know, and that's Humphrey Lillerton, as I said. You know, he came from a very privileged background, very posh. And the cavern stumped by the big three. You know, I used to do that. How old am I? Yeah.
Can you remember how it goes?
Yeah, because you just held the girl's hand.
Yeah.
And you used to just, you just...
No, I don't know. We don't know, do we, Jay?
Yeah, shut up anyway. Listeners all around the globe, I'm sorry about my wonderful guest, Jez Flanagan, in here. And
tell me what you're sorry about.
Well, the thing is, you see, I said I used to hold the girl's hand, and you did something with your legs. That's all I remember. Anyway, I was the worst dancer in the world. We're singing in the world and everything else in the world. Anyway, we've got Derek Shelmerdine, and he's the author of Rock N Roll Unravelled, and he's going to be telling us all about it, because this is what it's all about. And the Cavern, don't forget, 60 years. 60 years. Anyway, I don't know how to. I just don't know. Anyway, we're going over to Derek now. Hello, Derek.
Oh, Frank, good to be back with you, mate.
Ah, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. It's again, when we were on the last time, we were talking about Rock and Roll Unravelled, and the listeners would say, "Well, where can we get it?" But you did give it out, didn't you? Where you could get it, and anyway. So tell us a little bit more about the 60th anniversary of the Great Cavern, and can you tell me why you actually picked the mashed potato, or do the mashed potato, Bad Penny Blues and the Cavern Stomp? Why did you pick those in particular?
Well, the Humphrey Lyttelton one was very much the kind of music that the cavern goers were listening to. It actually opened on the 16th of January 1957.
Right.
And it opened as a jazz club.
Yeah.
Took its name from Les Caveaux in Paris. Alan Sintner was the owner.
Yeah.
That was the reason I chose that one.
Yeah.
The reason I chose the Undertakers was, one, absolutely love the Undertakers.
Yeah.
I saw them quite a few times,
yeah.
and I remember the Cavern Stomp as well from the Big Three. But one of the reasons I chose that Undertakers was because it's actually a James Brown cover.
Oh, nice.
James Brown recorded that back in 1959.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
I knew that. Yeah.
I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, he released it as Nat Kendrick and the Swans. Nat Kendrick was his drummer.
Oh, no wonder I didn't hear it. I never heard that, you know, to be honest.
Yeah, but you know the song, don't you?
Yeah, but I always thought that the Undertakers, because I used to watch it. I'll tell you where I watched the Undertakers, Derek. Shall I tell you where I used to watch them? I used to go the Iron Door.
Oh, I know.
And they were residents there, by the way.
Yeah.
Right.
Or they became residents. But, you know, getting back to the Cavern.
Yeah.
You know, the 60 years since, you know, it opens, as you said, well, it opens in 1957, so it's the 60 years.
That's right.
Am I right by saying that Acker Bilk and Kenny Ball also played there?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
Right.
for the first 2 or 3 years, I mean, Alan Sitner hated rock and roll. I mean, he tolerated skiffle, which is how John Lennon's group, the Quarrymen, came to play.
Yeah.
But when they played there on the 7th of August, 57, Lennon was really quite into rock and roll.
Yes.
And he decided to give the Cavern Goers a taste of some Elvis Presley.
Yeah.
And allegedly, urban myth has it that Alan Sitner sent him a note while he was still on stage saying, "Cut out the bloody rock."
Oh, go away.
Nobody's ever actually seen that note, but it's widely thought that that was what happened. And in fact, it was a little while later when Paul McCartney played the Cavern again with the Quarrymen for the first time on January the 28th, 58. Because John, of course, had met Paul by the time that the Quarrymen played the Cavern. He'd met him a month or so earlier, but apparently Paul was away at Scout Camp. So particular
Scouts, yeah.
Debut.
Can I ask you something?
Absolutely.
Do you know when you said about, they were doing Elvis, cover versions of Elvis, the rock and roll, did they actually try and mimic his voice?
Oh, I think so. I think most of the British rock and roll was tried to get as close as possible to the Americans, because the Americans really dominated the scene in the 50s. It wasn't until the British invasion in the sort of 1964 time that the Brits really took the coals back to Newcastle, as it were.
Yeah. What's your what's your best, how can I put this? What's your best memory of the Cavern yourself on a personal basis? And if it's in your book?
Well, there are two, really. Going to see a band there. One of the ones I really remember was Ivan's Meads playing there in the sort of mid-60s. Nice. And they recorded a cover of Sins of the Family, P.F. Sloan's song.
Oh, yeah.
They used, this very early days, they used a violin string to play I can't remember the guitarist's name now, but he used a violin string to play the guitar, and that was absolutely brilliant.
Wow.
But I must say, at a very personal level, my other abiding memory is June the 1st last year, because it was at the Cavern that I launched the book Rock N Roll Unravelled.
Oh, right.
In the live lounge.
Yeah.
And it was brilliant evening, because what happened was, obviously I sort of talked about the book, but I'm in a band. My brother's got a band, and I play the drums in it. So we punctuated the evening with music. So when we got to the rock around the clock bit at the beginning, the sort of mid-50s, we then played Rock Around the Clock, and carried on in that vein until we finished off with the Sex Pistols' Anarchy. I played on the same stage as Paul McCartney played in 1999.
Yeah, because he was there, wasn't he? He came down, and
that's
it's
right.
Wonderful stuff. I'll tell you what, though, which is interesting, for the listeners and myself and Zez here, is that, you're actually playing there, and the amount of people that, are wanting to play there, because we know a band over in America who wants to play here as well. So I'm going to try and organise something. They're coming over in July. They're coming over for the music festival, which is going to be held up in Sefton Park, and we're going to try and get them on, the Cavern, just to play a gig. Just to play a few songs, you know, to say that we played the Cavern. Yeah. And that's what they do. And they're a wonderful band, by the way. I forget the name of them. What's the name of the band, Jason?
It's Grant's band, isn't it?
No, it's not Grant's. It's it's Monty. It's Monty's. What is it? Butterfoot. Pussyfoot.
That's right. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Monty, if you're listening in. We have Americans in. While we're talking about Americans, I've got to mention this particular name a little bit later on. Carol Anderson Francis, her name is. And she was celebrating some, you know, with her husband. So we brought her up to New York. So Carol Anderson Francis, I'm sorry. Derek, you know, can you say Carol Anderson Francis, you know, we all, you know, congratulate you and your husbands on your little anniversary. Please.
Carol
Anderson Francis.
Haven't you got a pen there?
Carol Anderson
Francis. Yeah, that's her name.
Hi, Carol Anderson Francis. Congratulations from everybody over here in the UK.
I'm sure saying that
Mr. Voiceover Man.
Mr. Voiceover Man.
Carol Anderson Francis, have a great day.
Isn't that
and enjoy what you're doing.
Oh, thank you, boys. But anyway, Derek, you know, she'd be made up at that, by the way. She lives in there. Do you know where she lives? I think she lives down by Donald Trump in Washington. Washington, yeah. I think she went up to see Donald's big mansion up there, or a big office block in New York. Anyway, Derek, you know, you said about your memories and everything else. Do you want to know my memory, which is definitely not in your book?
Right.
I only ever went to Cavern once while it was at its peak.
Right.
And the last time I went down just before it was knocked down. So he was sitting in there, you know.
Yeah.
Now, shall I tell you what happened? This is absolutely genuine, this, right? Shall I tell you what happens when we went down? And don't forget, we're young lads. So there was me and my mates from Jeddah Gardens, by the way, where I grew up. So we were all queuing up, but we were on the steps, right? Yeah. This is absolutely genuine, this is a cracker. So this would have gone in your book, Derek, if you would have been talking to me, right? Definitely gone in your book. And what we were doing, we were standing there, you know, and we had Crombies on. Do you ever remember the Crombies, Derek?
I certainly do, the blue coat.
Yeah, this is it. So we had our Crombies on, and we were standing there. Now, there was other people, but they all had duffel coats on and everything else, and we were getting looked at, you know, by the doorman, you know, was to say, like, these fellas here, who are they? Yeah. Anyway, who was playing that night was Dave Clark 5.
All right.
Right, so they were trying to get down the stairs with, you know, with a big drum.
Oh, yeah.
And there was a lad named Benny Ambrose, one of our mates, you know, and I hit him on the head, you know, the drum. Made a broke out. You know, the drum went down and rolling down the stairs, and we heard this Cockney accent go, you know, the old expletives going and everything else. And by the time, you know, the bouncers come up and said, go on your bike. So we never got in, unfortunately. Yeah. And do you know what they said as well? You're overdressed.
Overdressed?
Overdressed. So that was the first time we ever went down the Cavern. And the last, you know, until it was coming down in 73, wasn't it?
Derek, can I ask you a question?
Yep.
Can you give us your favourite fact about the Cavern that nobody knows? Sorry.
No.
Do you hear that?
Well, one of the favourites is the band that's had the most appearances there is somebody most people have never heard of, the Hideaways.
Yeah, I've heard of the Hideaways.
Hideaways, yeah.
Well, and they played there 412 times. So you know, if you are fairly local to
Kappa beats them. Paul Kappa's he's got to be over 500 now, Derek.
Yeah.
No, the Hideaways, we did to them.
So that's the original Cavern you're talking about. They played over 400 times there, yeah.
Well, they played as well when it reopened. When Harold Wilson reopened it for them.
Yeah.
They played there that night as well, so they were playing regularly before and after that.
Well, educate me this one, because it's only what you've said there. When did it reopen?
Well, it reopened on the 23rd of July 1966.
Right.
And that was really when Bob Wooler was getting less involved and Billy Butler started to come to the fore as the DJ and compere.
Yeah, yeah. Do you know when, like the Cavern now?
Yep.
Today. When did that establish itself?
Well, that was in the early 90s, about 1991. Cavern City Tours took it over.
Yeah.
Before that, it had, I mean, Tommy Smith was, it opened and closed a lot, particularly in the 80s. And the Liverpool footballer Tommy Smith was involved in about 1984. Then it opened and closed a couple of times then. It lost its license in 1989 because of some sort of aggravation at the bar, as it were.
Right.
And then it had been a disco, and a guy called James McVitie owned it for a while in the late 80s, and he sort of reintroduced live music.
Yeah.
And then it was Cavern City Tours, really, that started to bring it to the great place that it is again.
Well, it is today. Well, what do you think of it today? You know, I mean for the success of it, you know, do you think it outweighs, like, going back to the 60s?
I think it, to an extent, it captures the atmosphere. It's got the same kind of very warm feel.
Yeah.
Down there.
Yeah.
I think the thing about the Cavern in the 60s, you didn't actually realise you were taking part in history.
No, and I was going to ask you that.
That's a great point, that, actually.
It is. Because you don't realise at the time, that's brilliant, that, by the way, Derek, because you don't realise at the time you could be anywhere, anywhere in the world, and history is being made. Even looking at the television, history is being made. I always remember, I know it's a death, like, when all of a sudden Tommy Cooper, you know, collapsed and died on the stage. And it was nuts. Then we had, I'm sorry about this again, you had the Hillsborough tragedy, which was unfolding. But, you know, going back to the Cavern, nothing was unfolding. All as we were saying was the Beatles there. Now, as I said, you know, about my escapades at the Cavern, I bunked off school and I actually seen the Beatles live, and they were on at the Locarno, which is now the Olympia up in West Derby Road. Absolutely amazing. And all the Ferrari and and I even got caught up in it. It was amazing, Derek. Did you ever see the Beatles live, by the way?
No, I never did.
Really?
But what's interesting about that really is that the music was changing. Everything was new all of the time then. Because, I mean, rock music, as we know it, rock and roll didn't start until the 50s. There was no teenage culture before the mid-50s. Then, you know, there was a sort of rite of passage when you were about 11 years old, and you either passed or failed the 11 plus, and you went into long trousers when you left school, the little school, and went to the big school. And basically, in the sort of 50s, you were just a little version of your dad. And the whole teenage culture thing didn't start till then, in terms of music, fashions. But the music scene was changing all the time. By the time we get to the early 60s, rock and roll was morphing into beat music. And then, you know, in the mid-60s, it morphed into rock. But when you listen to people like Jimi Hendrix and Pink Floyd in 1966, 67, you'd never, ever heard anything like it before. So there was no sense whatsoever that... you know, wow. I mean, I went to the Isle of Wight festival in 1970, which was, you know, the Hendrix one.
Yeah.
And there was a bunch of bands, and there was no real feel that, you know, when you watch Hendrix, you didn't know he was going to die a couple of 3 months later.
Yeah.
Again, it was in a way, another gig, a super gig.
Yeah. Do you know what? Do you know you're talking about the likes of Hendrix, and you're going down there. I went to and I didn't realise this, but I was at the very first Glastonbury.
Oh, right.
I was at the very first one. Yeah, I was there. And I couldn't believe it. And also when I was on the radio, I mentioned... I was asked a question, Derek, and it said, the Liverpool Stadium. And I said, well, it was the very first purpose-built boxing stadium in the whole of the country, you see.
Right.
And we knocked it down, and that was the old theme of the thing, through my history. The point is, some fella went, and I said, by the way, I was there to see Mott the Hoople and Hawkwind. And this fella said, I was there at that show. He said it was the first time they ever appeared together, and one of the support bands. Now I watched from the beginning, so I've seen these. The support bands were great until Hawkwind came on, and Lemmy, Silver Machine, and Mott the Hoople, all the young dudes. And do you know who was on? And I seen them. I must have watched them. Queen.
Oh, right.
Queen was one of the support groups. How about that? Isn't that wonderful? Today, and again, it's history unfolding. Like we were saying, we haven't a clue. We haven't a clue.
Yeah. But Derek, what you're saying when the Cavern opened, there was like a jazz club.
That's right.
Then it went to rock and roll. As it became or increased in popularity, did you get any other genres wanting to play there, like even classical performers, anything like that?
I don't think so.
No.
I think very much it moved after Alan Sittner moved on and Ray McFall took over. It was Ray McFall that really moved it out of being a jazz club into being a beat club. They famously had the first beat night on May the 25th, 1960.
Yeah.
But I mean, at that time, the middle 70s, the sort of 57, 58 time, that was when a lot of the famous clubs opened. I mean, down in London way, the Crawdaddy and the Marquee both opened around the same sort of time.
Yeah.
And they both opened very much as jazz clubs as well. And it was, of course, the jazz bands used to have interval groups, and they'd have a skiffle interval groups.
Yes.
When the jazz guys went to the bar for the break, 2 or 3 of them, or 3 or 4 of them, would then become the skiffle group, and that's how Lonnie Donegan got started.
Lonnie Donegan, I was just going to mention him, yeah. But like some other famous jazz clubs like Ronnie Scott's.
Oh, yeah.
Opened the doors to all different genres of music when they started becoming popular,
Yeah, very much so.
And but it sounds as though the Cavern didn't sort of follow suit there,
I don't think so. I certainly haven't come across much reference to anything like that, and certainly any memories I have of it are very much rock-based, rock and roll.
Yeah, oh, good stuff. Well, tell us about the book then, Derek.
Well, it's getting quite exciting, really, because as you were saying earlier, I've got a book signing at Right Blend in Waterloo on Friday. Starts at 7:30, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to do a whistle-stop tour of a history of rock and roll. So we'll start back in the late 20s with people like Robert Johnson. And then, over half an hour or so, look at some of the main things that happened. It'll all come from stories from the book. And what I'll do as well is I'll be playing a little bit of music, so illustrating some of the songs as we go along. And then that'll go up to mid-70s punk, about 78 when the Sex Pistols, sort of poster boys for punk, they split up quite dramatically in the beginning of 78, and then lots of opportunity for chatting as well. I mean that's the idea. I'm looking forward to exchanging views with people, and the book itself is in 3 parts, as you know, and the middle part of what happened today, January the 1st to December 31st. So, we'll check out some birthdays and see what happened in the world of rock and roll on those particular days. So, it should be quite a fun evening, really.
Sounds a very diverse kind of evening, Derek.
Yeah, it should be fun. I'm looking forward.
It will. Of course it will. Absolutely brilliant. Derek, we've come to the end, unfortunately, because we're on a very tight schedule, time schedule, because we're going over to our Hollywood correspondent right after you. We're playing a song, obviously, and then we get prepared for the Hollywood correspondent. Because don't forget, Derek, that you're listened to all around the place. So, this Friday, it's at the Right Blend, and you'll be signing your book.
That's
Rock
right.
N Roll Unravelled, yeah?
That's right. I mean, all the details are on the website at www.rockandrollunravelled.com.
Yeah. Well, we've got that anyway, and also we'll be putting it on our website. And
thanks.
Honestly, it's been a pleasure, and you'll come on again, obviously.
Oh, that's great. Thanks.
It's wonderful. Great stories, by the way.
It's an excellent book, Derek. I hope it goes well for you.
Thanks a lot, mate.
Yeah.
No, it is absolutely. So listen, Derek, you will come on again, won't you?
Oh, I'd love to.
Brilliant. And we can talk about UFOs and things, can't we?
Oh, they were quite a band, weren't they?
They were, yeah. They were as well. Oh, what a man. Anyway, Derek, it's been wonderful as usual, and we'll speak to you very soon.
Cheers, mate. All the best.
See you, Derek. Ciao, mate.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Well, that was Derek. Isn't he a lovely man?
Sam guy, isn't he?
He is. He's a lovely man. Yeah. Anyway, we've got Searching on. Andy Gamble's Searching.
Is he here?
No, he's not here yet, but we're going to play his song. And this is for Mo down in Essex.
Hiya, Mo.
So, Mo, this is all for you, and it's when Andy sees you walking in the room, so it's When You Walk in the Room by Searching.
Listen to Mersey Radio wherever you are, on air, online, and on your phone. www.merseyradio.co.uk. If you like classic rock, tune into Will Meadows, Saturdays at 8 p.m. for the best in classic rock and great guitar music. For all your around-the-world sports news, tune into Neil Garner every Monday at 10 p.m. on Mersey Radio. The best in 60s and 70s music, plus a little bit of history. Tune into Frank Carlyle every Monday at 8 p.m. here, only on Mersey Radio.
Well, that wasn't that brilliant, When You Walk in the Room by Andy Gamble and Searching. Jamie Williams is listening in. What's he called? The Ghost Hunter.
The Ghost Hunter.
The paranormal fella.
Good evening, Jamie.
Good evening, Jamie.
Good evening, Jamie. It's John O'Hare here.
John's listening in, I suppose.
Good evening, John.
John Sardison down in Australia, and also...
Oh, listen, I've had that sex. Sorry, Frank, before you go on. Elizabeth. Hi, Elizabeth.
Hiya, Elizabeth. Okay, so text off Elizabeth listening in. Greg Toland.
Hiya, Greg.
So we've got loads listening in, haven't we? We've got them all listening in. We've got the fellas, even Ian Golden, he's listening in. He should be here. Yeah, he's working and he got us on. He's working, he got us on. And I suppose Andy Gamble, who's coming all the way from Crewe, he'll have us on as well.
He'll have us on.
Oh, definitely. That's why we have to play his record. As you do. Anyway, we're going over to Joe in a moment, because Joe's going to give us loads about the Oscar nominations.
Oh, right, okay.
And don't forget that we had the BAFTAs last night.
We did.
I don't know. Anyway, she can tell us all about it, because I haven't a clue on anything. Anyway, we're going right over to Joe. Hello, Joe.
Hello from Hollywood.
Oh, has it stopped raining yet?
Yes, it has. We've got expecting some more the weekend.
Oh, right. Well, listen, the Oroville Dam. Do you live anywhere near there? And are you being evacuated or what?
No.
Oh, well, that puts that. That's put in perspective there, as they say. All right, then. So the Oroville Dam, well, people are being, evacuated, thousands of people, aren't they? Because they're thinking that it's going to go anytime.
Oh, my goodness, I haven't caught up with that news.
Oh, haven't you? Oh, well, yeah.
It's an exclusive.
No.
Well, it's an exclusive to all you people in there. You shouldn't be drinking too much anyway, all you Hollywood people.
Really? Yeah, right. If I was lucky, it really is a pain that I'm diabetic and can't drink as much as I would like to.
Oh, come off it.
Oh, you say
it's true. It's true. It's true.
You're okay, Josephine. No,
too much sugar and alcohol.
Yeah, well, there you go. You say, well, you want to drink vodka? I don't think there's much sugar in that, is there?
Or the ice.
Or the ice. No, there's no sugar in the ice. No, that's what it's all about.
Yeah. Every day's a party.
Well, it is, because I've seen that wonderful photograph that you put up today with you and your friends.
Yeah.
All the glams out.
And all them empty glasses,
and all the empty glasses, all the sugar-free empty glasses.
Yeah. That was sugar-free champagne.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm allowed a couple of drinks. That's what my doctor says, but that's it.
Oh, okay.
He's not very nice to me.
Well, listen, Joe, do you know when you go out, do you go in because you've got all these Liverpool girls over here, right? And all as they ask for is when they get a vodka or whatever, a vodka and Coke, it's always a vodka and a Diet Coke, please.
Oh, you guys.
Do you get Diet Coke with yours as well?
Yeah, I do. Or soda.
Why?
Exactly.
Why not? Unless it's a really nice vodka, then it's just on ice.
Yeah.
Oh, well, there you go. Good shout there. Well, listen, the Hollywood things, we had the BAFTAs last night. Now you've got the nominations.
What did you think of it?
Well, again, La La Land. To be honest, La La Land, it's just a musical to me. And that's it. I don't think it's anything special. I don't think it's anything special for me. I thought Hacksaw Ridge was a very good film. And Manchester by the Sea, a very good film.
Yeah, that's up. Lion's up as well.
Yeah, but it got absolutely. Lion, Lion. But as I said, I've seen that Hacksaw Ridge, a true story about an unsung hero who saved lots and lots of lives of his company. Getting them down from a cliff. And, and he was a Christian, and he was a medic, and he never used a gun, and yet he saved loads of lives from Japanese snipers. It was the action in it was absolutely stupendous. Brilliant direction, in my opinion, by Mel Gibson. It's very similar to Saving Private Ryan.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely, and he was court-martialed twice, wasn't he, for refusing to use a gun.
Yeah.
And why do I need a gun? I'm a medic.
Yeah. And his father, he was actually in the First World War. He was suffering from post-traumatic stress, and that post-traumatic stress wasn't known then. It wasn't known. And, he was a bit mentally disturbed, unfortunately, and that's why he didn't want to pick up a gun. Because
it was quite known fact in the First World War they would shoot people who were not reporting.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you know what they did, funny enough, during the Indian Uprising of 1857 in India, obviously? Do you know what they used to do to people who wouldn't fight? And I'm talking about the Indians wouldn't fight their own brothers, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
They used to tie them to a gun carriage, with the cannon, and they used to just fire it. And it's shocking what people went through.
The day is going to come, where every soldier is going to lay down his arms and say, listen, we've had enough. If you want to fight amongst yourselves. And to all the leaders.
And do you know what it is? Who the soldiers are? They're all working class.
Absolutely.
Every single one of them. And yet, you know, the working classes are trod on and everything else. And when there's a war on, that's who they call up.
Won't be in our lifetime, but I hope it happens soon enough.
Wouldn't it be brilliant? You know, I want to go to the 25th century and start trekking, where everyone are fighting the aliens and saying, listen, you better come in line. You can't be going around the universe, you know, setting wars off, because we're living in peace. But anyway, who's your favourite anyway for an Oscar? Because I know you're not on next week.
Yeah, I'm hoping Nicole Kidman gets best support role in the line.
Well. I love Nicole. I love you and Nicole. Yeah. The Padies.
Keith Urban was at the last night doing a number.
Yeah. Well, that girl out of La La Land's won the BAFTA last night, didn't she? Are you there? Well, anyway, Joe mentioned Nicole Kidman.
Yeah.
And Nicole Kidman is a very, very good actress. And I'll tell you who else, you know, in that Glamour Stakes as well, where she's beautiful, who's also a very, very good actress. But, you know, I think they just picked them for the, you know, the looks and everything else, but I think they've got more talent. It's like Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah.
Marilyn Monroe was a genius. She had a very high IQ. And, you know, but they wanted her to play, hello, it's me, you know. Yeah. But, yes, she was very, very intelligent. And the girl I'm talking about is a girl named Charlize Theron. And she's South African, but obviously she lives in the States. What an actress she is. Absolutely brilliant. So you're back with us, Joe?
I'm certainly back with you. But we'll talk about Nicole Kidman. When you're saying you think Natalie Portman should get a leading role for Jackie? Yeah,
well, again, we mentioned that last week, didn't we? What an actress that girl is, and what a portrayal of a real life person. What a portrayal, and she played it to a T. She was absolutely stunning, and a stunning performance. And you know, the likes of Nicole, the likes of Natalie Portman, great actresses. But you know, the best actress out of the bunch of them, who was up for a BAFTA, was Meryl Streep. But how many Oscars can Meryl Streep win? But you know, she can turn like a film, an ordinary film, into a class act. But, you know, the likes of Natalie Portman, the likes of Nicole Kidman, stupendous actresses, Joe.
Absolutely. I think Casey Affleck's up for Manchester to See. Then we have...
I think he's Andrew a brilliant Garfield. Actor. I think Casey Affleck... Is he the other Affleck's brother?
Ben.
Yeah.
Is he his brother, yeah?
Yes, I think he is.
Do you know why? I'll tell you for why. Well, he wouldn't have the same name, really, you know, two Afflecks. I'll tell you for why. Ben Affleck, to me, is a wooden actor. Yeah, Casey Affleck is a brilliant actor. He's a far better actor than his brother.
I absolutely agree.
There you go, Joe. Say two great minds think alike. I'm glad of that. Who's your favourite, by the way? Who really do you want to, you know, in the male category? Who would you like to see winning?
I would like to see Hacksaw Ridge get a few awards. I think it's well deserving.
I would.
Absolutely. I want it to win.
Yeah.
You know, you have the Denzel Washington Fences up now. Great writing, but not made for the cinema. You know, it's not. No, it's something for the theatre.
Well, I'm going to tell you something now. I actually seen Fences at the Liverpool Playhouse years ago. Did you know that? And do you know who played the lead part?
No.
And he was a big Hollywood star, Yaphet Kotto. Have you ever heard of him?
Yes, I have.
Yaphet Kotto,
so you know exactly.
Go on.
Yeah. Wow. So you know exactly how I feel about that. I haven't seen it at where it's meant to be seen. I think it's for the theatre.
It's a theatre. It's not a film. It's not a film, unfortunately, and I won't watch it. I'm being honest. You know how good Denzel Washington is. Is it Denzel or is it Denzel? I call him Denzel.
I call him Denzel.
I call him Denzel, and you get them going Denzel. Oh, sod off! It's Denzel.
Yeah, but yeah, I agree. I mean, but equally, he did a great. He portrayed it really well. He did a great acting role for him. He was really on it. I have to say, I was quite taken back by his skill set as an actor.
Well, do you know what? I went to see Yaphet Kotto, as I said, in the stage, and I went around the stage door, and good job, like the fella knew me. He said, "Hello, Frank." I said, "How are you?" I said, "I've come around for his autograph, to sign, the autograph." So I went in to see Yaphet Kotto, and I went in and I said, "I love your work, I said, "I loved you as Alonso in Midnight Run with De Niro," and he said, "That was a great role for me," he said, because he plays an FBI agent, alongside De Niro. How bigger can you get for that? Anyway, I said, "Can I have your autograph?" And he said, "I'll give you anything," he said, "because not many people know that I was in Midnight Run." So he signed it for me, what am I? But he's dead tall. He's like 6'4" or something like that, big fella. Great, when he thanked me and everything. I had a beer with him. Sat down, in the green room, and I had a beer.
Where's he from, Frank?
He's an American. I don't know.
You don't know whereabouts?
No, just don't know. But great actor. So go ahead, Joe. So, what actress would you like to see? Besides Natalie Portman and Nicole, would you like to see that? What's her name? Olivia Davis, is it? No, Viola Davis, is it? For Fences, yeah. I think she's in Fences along with Denzel Washington.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think out of them both, I preferred her style of acting within Fences. I think she's well deserving.
Yeah.
I mean, it's funny how the Oscars go. We tend to have 1 year where there's no ethnic races tend to win anything, and then next year, it's like a lot of but very talented black actors, winning nothing. I think it's going to be, it's funny how that tends to happen at the Oscars.
Yeah. Well, listen, Joe, we've just come up to the end, unfortunately, again, and I know that you're not here next week.
Here we come.
So I'll see you there the following week.
You got it.
Thank you so much, Joe. I love your subject, and so Des.
Yeah, nice one, Joe. See you in a
always
fortnight.
A pleasure.
Thank you, girl.
All right,
Thank you so much.
No.
Anyway, from one Scouser over there in Hollywood to a Scouser, Des Flanagan.
Thanks, Frank. It's been great.
To Jason. Jason, without Jason, the show wouldn't go on. And from me, Frank Carlyle, all the listeners, thank you for listening in. And see us all, God's willing, next week for more of chat, music, and Des Flanagan, John O'Ware, Ian Golder, and our special guests for next week. And from me and Jason and Des, thank you so much. See us all next week, God's willing. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye.